We are good to go, I believe. You guys ready? I'm good to go. Let's do it. What up, headbangers? How you doing? I'm Rob O'Day. We got Norm Mathers with us. And we got the amazing Becoming the Bully out of Montreal. How are you guys doing? Why don't you tell us your names and how you guys got together?
He said yes. So that's about it.
Nice. And you
Yeah,
guys, you guys,
I've been
okay. Go ahead. I know there's a little bit of a delay.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, and my name is Steven. I was playing in a band called Last Shut Eye back in the day when I met Carl actually through a gig, well, which turned into multiple gigs, which then turned into gaming partners and stuff, and then at one point their band broke up, my band broke up, and he had already mentioned a side project before, and I didn't want to, I only wanted to like concentrate on one thing, so I wasn't too sure and everything. And then after that, the timing was good, and I joined him, and it was pretty much that ever since. It was like late 2014 about, and we started gigging like early 2015 after that, and it just went straight up from that.
Oh, cool. Your guys' latest release, Pillars, is like Norman was saying before we started, was is absolutely deadly. Like start to finish, it's an
Thank you.
absolutely
Thanks,
amazing,
man.
written well, like a well written album. How was the experience in writing that and recording it?
Oh man,
It
a
was
hell of a
long.
ride, man.
Yeah.
It happens.
Oh yeah, you want to hit this one, Carl? Or
No, you do it.
all right. Well, it was a it was a mixture of well, actually, we've been playing these songs for quite a while, and they never really got recorded onto anything. So we had a couple of new songs as well, and we just decided to add up, everything that we had into one album, and we it turned out like it turned out like the mix turned out pretty good, like meaning that not every song is the same kind of thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a, it's a if you listen to it from start to finish, like you go like through all sorts of vibes there, fast, slow stuff, whatever. So writing that was it wasn't as easy because we had like our lineup changes and stuff, and sometimes the chemistry is not there, the timing's not good, bad vibes and stuff, and then having to deal with different opinions all the time isn't the it's like a five-person couple, right? When you think about it. So
Yeah, for sure.
opinions clash, ideas clash. It's ups and downs. So it was a hell of a ride, and it was a long one too. Because like I was saying, we've been playing these songs already for quite a while. They've just never been recorded, except for our old EP. So we're kind of tired a little bit, but through the album and stuff, I think after all we've been through it, when we play them now, like the way that we play them, the raw and all that stuff, and I think we can see that through our playing as well when we do it, that it's aggressive and in the face and stuff. But it was a hell of a ride, man.
Yeah, I bet. It's a funny thing when you get to that level where you're actually like recording full lengths and with a band because it's not just like jamming anymore, it becomes a serious thing. And it does, yeah, there are fights, there's going to be times where you're at each other's throat and that kind of just like leads to better, I don't know.
Yeah.
I like to say
Well,
Make
the
sportsmanship.
a
result
better
is good, eh?
product.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the way I see it, like it kind of reminds me. I don't know, the comparison might be a little cheesy, but like the Metallica, some kind of monster thing with the same anger shit. Like obviously we didn't get at each other's throat as bad, but it was ideas clashing, fucking everything was all over the place. It was quite messy at some point, but we pulled through, and we're happy that we did.
Yeah, it's good because I mean, the album itself is like, you put it on and instantly, the first two songs in, you're hooked, you know. And I think that's I've always had like a theory with same thing with performances. The first three songs need to almost be your best in a performance, and not necessarily on an album, but your second, third, and fourth songs. You know what I mean? Like, you have to captivate people to that point where the first one's like, damn, that was good. Second one's, damn, that's good. Third one's like, okay, I'm hooked instantly. I got what I want. So I was sessioning it hard today, and it's fucking dope. It's a really like down to earth, wicked album. So congrats, cause like fuck yeah, it's solid. I know that
Thanks, man.
Norman
I
was
appreciate it.
Thanks.
I know Norman was saying that he chose a couple songs out of there that were like his favorites, and I was like, I tend to not pay attention to the songs because like I'm just like the album. I want to hear how the whole story is, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you hear nasty breakdowns, you just have to take a second and like a song.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure.
How has COVID affected
Oh,
you guys?
it's all good.
Well,
Um,
we
yeah,
stopped
go ahead.
playing.
Yeah,
We
man.
stopped playing. We
Yeah.
totally stopped. We
COVID.
lost so many gigs. Um, we were supposed to go on two tours, and it all got it all got canceled, and we don't even practice anymore. So
It's
we
illegal,
try
man.
to, yeah.
It's fucking
So
illegal.
we try to do some shit uh, online. We send tracks to each other. So we do some studio on the side, trying to get something out. But we can't wait to play. That's all we want to do. We just
Right?
want to play
Yeah, man.
live.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
100%.
It's
I'm
it's
like,
it's it sucks.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, I was just gonna say it sucks. We had like a good hype going for the album, and like only did two promotional shows for it. Which were pretty awesome. Like, I can only imagine with the other shows after that, and the tour. We're supposed to do like an Ontario and Quebec tour. That all got postponed or canceled, and you know,
Yeah.
so we're just kind of gonna have to push it in other different ways. But we're still looking forward to other things as well. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that it would be nice for things to open up, 'cause especially for you guys, because you're in Montreal, right? So like Quebec is completely has curfew, and that's another
Yeah,
level that like we haven't experienced yet. And I could see that
it
being,
sucks.
yeah,
It
I know what I mean. Like
sucks.
I could
It sucks,
imagine,
man.
100% like not being able to even jam, like not even be able to sneak it, because like if you're out after 8 o'clock, you're screwed, kind of a thing.
Oh
So
yeah, man. Like, and where we
Yeah,
practice too, it's an area of town where there's a lot of cops as well. So it's is it really worth it to push it? Like, we all want to, right? But man, like after that, like come on, like a ticket for that, it sucks, man. So we have to do what we can with what we have for now.
yeah, and I think that
What do they
that's
what do they charge for a ticket?
Oh shit, I think it was like
uh,
1,600, something like that, depending on
Oh,
what you're doing. Yeah, it depends what you're doing.
no.
I think
Okay,
so. I
okay.
like I don't want to, I don't want to confirm that,
yeah.
but I
Yeah.
heard something like that. I'm not curious finding out really,
Right? Yeah, no,
for myself, but
I'm good
I'm just
going
not
home.
gonna do it.
Yeah, no, for
Yeah,
sure. Where were you guys?
it's obviously a scary amount.
Yeah, no, for sure. Where were you guys planning on touring before COVID happened?
We had a Quebec and the Ontario tour. We're gonna do a couple shows in Quebec. Besides that tour in particular, and we're gonna hit up pretty much most of Ontario.
Yeah,
So that we had like a 10 gig tour with Being from Ontario. So
That'd be
yeah,
fun.
man, that's pretty much it for now. Oh yeah, like we're looking forward to, the future. Like it was canceled, but we'll probably hook it up again or see what happens. And both
Yeah.
bands are bummed. Fucking both bands want to get back to it. So
Right. Yeah. No, it sucks. Like especially because like we get to watch all these other bands that are on the same label and they're in Texas and they get to rock out and we're like, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, let us play, let us play, let us play.
Man, yeah, it's a tough one,
Yeah.
man.
I'm like
But good
vicariously
for them
living
though.
through
Like
them.
I'm happy. Like
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I'm vicariously living through them right now. I love them. I'm like, please keep going.
yeah.
No, so besides COVID, have you guys managed to do you do all your own recordings? Like in-house or do you go usually to a studio?
Oh, Carl.
Well, we try to record some stuff, but the final product is always in the studio. So we're doing some demos now, and when it's all ready, we're hitting the studio. Yeah.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
dope.
we
Are you
have
good?
good friends there. They hook us up for the demos and stuff. So it's pretty nice having them help us out.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's always nice to have friends with different interests. Like some friends who do graphic designing and like some friends who are really good at art and I think that it's just you got to help each other kind of get higher and higher into whatever you do and work together is like a really it's very beneficial, I find.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, man. Especially like in our scene.
Yeah,
We all
speaking
have
of
to
that,
work together and
I was going to ask you,
keep
how
it
is
tight.
the scene there?
Holy shit. These days it's pretty fucking dead.
Mhm.
But I see like our good friends like Bastards had a release not too long ago. I think I think Feels Like Home were recording a little while back. Like this, it's still moving, but pretty slow. It's mostly pretty much like we're doing like all like little bits and pieces on our side and pitching ideas. Other than that, so I think pretty much everybody's on the same wavelength. We can't do much other than that. So
Yeah. I know that we haven't been able to jam since I think it was like November, right, Norm? When was the last jam we had?
I, I honestly can't remember.
I feel like it was. I feel
It
like
was right after we
okay.
got Andy.
yeah, so I feel like it was like
When was
just
the last shows you guys?
our last show was January 26th, I believe, 2020.
2020.
Yeah, we opened up
Yeah.
for Bison BC and there it was so fun. Like those guys are so good. And it was kind of like I don't know, it's cool when you get to see or open up for bands that are like have been in it for a long time because they totally present themselves
Yeah, man.
different. It's cool. But yeah, we were supposed to open up for Stitched Up Heart in November last year, and it didn't happen because of COVID. They were supposed to come up to Kelowna and do all that, but hopefully they do it again. That'd be nice. It'd be nice to.
The sick thing. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
The sick thing with opening up for Bison was just how fucking tight they were.
Mm-hmm.
Like their sound was so perfect. Their stage antics were perfect. It was really tight.
Yeah, no, they were
It's fun.
crispy.
It's fun to see too, like old bands like doing their shit. Like I don't know. I'm gonna compare like let's say like one of the Deftones show, the latest Deftones show that I went to see, like how everything was all everything was um, yeah, everybody had their little role, was doing it perfectly. Everything was tight. Everything was running, man. Like in French, it's les vieux de la vieille. How we say it,
Oh,
the old schoolers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice, man. I like seeing that.
I saw Deftones open up for Slipknot, and they had a rave to go to after. So they like blasted out their set and were like, "Peace, Vancouver." Like it was funny, but
Oh
like
wow,
they
man.
killed their set. Like yeah, live they're so amazing, and they're one of my favorite bands. So it was like it was really cool. And like during Knife Party, I was doing the Indian singing,
Oh my
and somebody beside me is like looking at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, "Fuck you! You clearly don't. You're not a Deftones fan." So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah, exactly, man.
it is cool when you get to
I can
see,
only imagine his face.
right? Just what the fuck is going on
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
No, it's a
Yeah. When
funny
she hits
thing.
the high pitch there.
I think that's a guy, to be honest.
Oh, is it? Is
I
it? Oh
I
my
think
God, I
it's a
couldn't. I'm
dude.
not even sure, man.
Yeah, like that. I always thought it was a chick, and I had a friend tell me that it was a male, and I was like, "Damn, those notes
It's
are
ma'am.
crazy." It's a ma'am. No, it's so true.
Wow.
When you get to see bands that you look up to, it almost inspires you 10 times more to push. You know what I mean? Because you're like, "Fuck, I want that stage set up."
Yeah. But it was like also like I was meeting like the professionalism of that show in particular. Like it was just like wow, man. Like, and it's really awesome too. Like yeah, that's why I was mentioning them because kind of comparing to what you were talking about. You know.
hmm
It's,
Yeah, no,
yeah, it's
it's
always awesome, man. So
it's weird to
yeah.
see the direction things have gone to in the past like 10 years with major label bands too, because a lot of them are doing things independent now too themselves, like they're walking away from their labels and kind of doing it themselves, which is kind of cool to see, especially big bands. Like I know that one of my favorite bands, While She Sleeps, like they do all their own stuff, and they have like the guitar player's brother does their music videos, so like they're all in-house kind of a thing, and they're
Oh,
huge leaders in the independent movement for bands. And I think that's a key thing that we need now. And I think that's also a wicked thing that we were given during COVID. So I'm stoked to see the next like 6 months and where things will go once Canada
yeah.
opens up.
Oh man, we can't wait. Fuck.
Right?
But yeah, like for sure, man. Like the you know, if you can do stuff, if you have a whole team, like you're close to your guys and stuff, and have all that stuff done for you, not done for you, but I mean like easily, like you know, it's easy to work on, you know, with these people and get
Mm-hmm.
ideas across and stuff. It's just a major plus. And for sure, like as shitty as COVID is, like for sure, there's good, you know, uppers more, you know, than all the downers.
Yeah, at
But
first I think everyone kind of took it as like a crazy negative, but I mean in reality it's not. I mean besides like lockdown, and I would hate to be in curfew, so I definitely feel for you guys, but it's been kind of nice to like enjoy the time and our craft and love it for what it is. And I'm very thankful. And not in a sense that it's like, oh, I'm thankful for COVID happening, but I definitely am, because I know we got a shit ton done in the year that COVID happened. Like we blasted out 2 EPs. We're about to finish the second one. We're just waiting on the last little bit of a song. And you get to grind and you get to actually do it, because a lot of the time before I found we didn't actually we were grinding, but we weren't grinding. I think a lot of bands kind of took it. Were kind of lazy before, and then when they were forced the situation, we're like, oh shit, we're not playing. What can we do? It made us really step up our game, and you see who did step up their game and who, like, they're the ones that have continued to gain a following during a time where no one's been playing, which is a skill. That takes effort, time, and understanding of proper networking with people to do that. So it's been cool to like hone in our craft besides the playing, I guess I could say.
yeah, man. Like, yeah, we've been up and down on that one, man. We've been active, we've been lazy, we've been all over the place during that time.
Oh yeah, no, I was definitely
But
lazy over the winter. All I did was play to the forest. I was just amped. That's all I did. I'm just gonna build myself a different world. No, I find that
yeah,
sometimes
there
you
you
need
go.
that,
Yeah.
right? Like sometimes you need that break too, because you can't constantly write, or else you don't. You're just
No, for sure, man.
pushing out way too much.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not always good to force it either. You know.
Yeah.
and just to zone out, like you're saying, like to you know go off in that different world there and just fucking. I've been playing Red Dead these days, you know. Like I mean, I'm off in a different world.
No, it's true, and I think
I
a
love
lot.
it. I love it.
No, and I mean like a lot of bands are just like I know there's bands that are doing like I can't remember which band it is, but they're doing like them versus fans in games. So they're
I
like
remember you telling me
Oh
about
yeah,
yeah,
I've
they're
that.
heard
like
of that.
battling each
Yeah.
other and then like they're take on their fans and I'm like, man, I hope the fans whoop the band's ass. That would be awesome. Or I can't remember which band did like a
Yeah.
bake off. A band did a bake off with a fan and they lost because none of them know how to bake. And I'm like, these are like the funny things, you know? Like I would love to do the gaming session with the boys and like film it and live stream it because I'd be yelling at Dale so hard. It would be awesome.
Yeah, that's a good idea, man. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that a lot. I
Well,
think you
that's
How bad would it?
good at that.
How bad would it? Never mind. Go ahead.
no. What were you gonna say?
What?
No, I was gonna say, how bad would it be if like you're just sick at guitar, but you're also sick at video games and you just kill everyone?
Just master,
Everyone's ass. Like,
right?
Yeah.
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 The best would be like, yeah, for sure, just like team, band team games, just running in and murking the entire squad on the other team and being like, yo, go check out our
Yeah.
music. And they're all like, fuck you.
Yeah.
fuck
Yeah.
this, man.
Yeah. Hackers.
You guys are supposed to be a band. How are you so good? Man, we were raised on GoldenEye, all right? Like, we were raised on James Bond. You can't screw with us.
Oh yeah, there you go. True, man. So true.
So good. No, so after COVID, because I know that
GoldenEye,
things...
Perfect Dark.
Right? Perfect Dark. Oh, it was so good. After COVID, once things open up, what's your guys' first plan? Like, I know you want to get back to touring, but where do you think you're going to go first?
Holy shit. What's up, Carl? Where are we going?
Rimouski. Yeah. Let's go
Yeah,
to
Rimouski.
Rimouski. Yeah.
We'd like.
Maybe Ottawa. Ottawa's cool too.
I've heard Ottawa's got a wicked music scene. Like, Toronto is just solid.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'd love to go out there. I think it would be nice to see a big scene, I guess, because, like, I've only ever played the biggest... Well, that's not true. Because Vancouver's scene's really good. I did Saskatoon. I've done Edmonton and Calgary. But, I mean, I didn't do it with metal bands, so I'd love to see the metal scene in Eastern Canada. Because I know the hip-hop scene is deadly in BC. It was deadly, at least. Like, a lot of the artists from here are just incredible. So it was cool to see, like, the progression across to at least Saskatchewan. But I want to see the metal in, like, the metal community in Canada. I want to see how strong it is. Because I know Vancouver is pretty good, but we don't have venues.
Yeah.
No,
Okay. I
that
guess.
sucks.
You know, like, a lot
Yeah,
of
man.
venues shut down because of this. Which is unfortunate, but it'd be cool to see, like, a new rise in types of venues, not just, like, bars. Because I don't really enjoy playing bars. I don't know what it is. I don't know. People don't interact like they do at, like, if you rent a church or a hall and you have a show, you know what I mean? So it's a total
A
different
small
experience.
theater or something like that.
Yeah, like, I find those interactive shows where you're like, they're not worrying about getting drunk and getting some tail, you know what I mean? They're there for the show. Like, those are the best kind of shows.
Yeah, exactly. It's a different motive that they're there for.
Mm-hmm. Because I know, like... Oh, go ahead.
You can still you can still have that show, let's say at the in your church basement and have a permit for alcohol, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
and then get both out of the best out of both worlds on that one, because people are all in there for the show first of all,
Yeah.
and then they get their little drinks in. So yeah, man, like I get what you mean though. Like at the bars, the regulars are probably just there like, God damn, I'm getting a drink and there's a fucking band playing.
Right? And that's like 90% of it. Yeah, I think there's a lot of...
Why?
What, Norm?
What was that?
I was gonna say, why the fuck is this guy yelling at me? What the hell?
I just have a fucking beer.
Someone's got to call someone. This guy's going crazy. Could you
Can I speak to
imagine?
the manager, please?
Yeah. Can I get a
Oh, that is the
discounted
manager up
beer?
there. Sorry.
Oh yeah, it's the manager's man.
Oh yeah. Could you imagine? This band sucks. Get the fuck out of my venue. No. I know that I know that the scene like in Texas, I know that they're performing and like I believe Florida's open and performing too. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but I know that their turnouts have been amazing so far. And they're like super stoked to be back at it because a lot of people are appreciating it more. And I know that Canada's
Yeah,
appreciation for live
fuck.
music went downhill. So I'm really excited to see it be like a new birth of live music in Canada.
Yeah, man. I think I have faith in it. You know, I think everybody is at the same. You know, like we're all tired of this shit, and we all want to go to shows. And like that meme, there was a meme going around there. Like, damn, I miss going to a show, paying a beer too expensively, and waiting in line too long for it. But I miss that.
Mm-hmm. No, it's
But
so
but
true.
I'm kidding. But I mean, like dude, we all need that, right? Like musicians, like it's all how can I say that? It's like the human interaction, we're
Mm-hmm.
not getting anymore. And, a show is to bring people together and we're all there for the right reason and the same reason. Enjoy the music and have a blast. And
Yeah. No, it's true. There's something
it's
powerful about a live show.
missing out.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's
Oh, yeah,
definitely
man.
power in it. There's it's always been like I don't know, like music has always been in our soul. Tribes they have their drums and they play and they sing and it's the same thing. It's just it's ours has evolved to a different craft. Ours is a lot more
Yeah.
aggressive, but the people in it are a lot more peaceful. So I feel like metal's a kind of a unique template for humanity to look at because like realistically I find a lot of people hold in their anger as we're metalheads. They're like, this is the greatest thing ever. I can scream on stage, and after I'm like, like I just meditated for an hour and a half. You know what I mean? There's something about it. It's powerful, and I think that most people kind of took it for granted going to live shows before because there were so many bands playing, and now it's going to be like this huge rebirth where everyone wants to come to shows. And I know that mosh pits are going to be deadly, and I'm so excited. The first time I get to
Oh,
step
yeah,
on
man.
stage, I'm just going to, like, tear up. I know it. The moment, like, the door opens to the venue and we're carrying gear in, it's going to be like, like, I don't even know.
Hell yeah, man.
Just the thought is
Yeah.
emotional for me. I'm like, fuck. Like, at this point, I just want to help Andy move his drums in.
Yeah.
The singer wants to do
I
something.
get it.
So no, it's I can't wait. It's gonna be beautiful because I know that there's a huge connection too. Like all the bands that haven't been playing have been connecting on Facebook. So like shit, you can move right across Canada with just friends that you've made online. So it's kind of a cool thing because Facebook became such a beautiful yet evil aspect for bands. You know what I mean? The one thing I hate the most about Facebook,
Yeah.
besides the fact that they're like screwing up and going slow and deleting people off fan pages, is that it's created a weird popularity contest for bands. Like now we have to look at our likes as if that dictates our music, how good it is. And I think that's like one point that really drives me nuts because like music is based off music. It's talent, not based on social media likes. So that's one thing
Yeah.
that drives me
It's true.
incredibly insane because like I know before COVID, promoters wouldn't book you unless you had a certain amount of likes because then they thought that many people would come. You had a following that would bring people, but in reality, you can like one of my bands after I left had paid for likes and their likes are all in Indonesia. So like what's that going to do for you when you're performing in Canada, So you gotta like Facebook doesn't do much on that level. You still gotta like naturally network. You can't just like expect the fan base to kind of like come to your shows after just because they liked a page. It's really hard to even get people to do that now because it's almost like they feel like you owe them
Yeah,
something
man.
back. But in reality, like support the people who do support her. They support so hard, and they're beautiful people. That's what I love is how dedicated they are to the bands they love, and it's super cool to see. I love it.
Yeah, man, for sure. Like, just every, I don't know, man. I find like it's not especially like with the type of music that we're playing, it's not always as easy also to reach out to like a lot of like I don't know, like I listen to a lot of different music, so that's one thing. But some people are just, they have the way of like, they're like, oh, no, man, I'm all into this and not into that,
Yeah.
and I don't know, man. I think like well, especially with COVID now too. Like I think on the support aspect, like it's important also to not just support your local punk rock band, or your local metal band, or like every artist now is digging, for like the survival of their craft, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I think I hope things open up, and I think things will probably fucking go off in a huge launch because we're all waiting for that to happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I'm going with this, but I just can't wait to play, man. This is just getting annoying. Fuck.
Yeah. No, it is, and I know that everywhere else is slowly opening. I'm pretty sure the UK has shows now. I'm not sure if Europe's
Yeah, you.
opening. I don't know, but I know that a lot of
I'm
states are.
not sure either. Yeah,
Yeah.
you mentioned Texas before too, Florida. Like I know, like I don't know about the music as much, but like I've seen like the UFC events like getting booked now, so
Yeah.
I'm guessing
Hmm.
venues are starting to open
Yeah.
up more. So yeah, if slowly but surely. Eh?
Mm-hmm. I mean, the more that the vaccine goes out, I mean, I think people will start to chill out a little more, which and then we can start killing things. Cause I'm stoked to perform. That's all I want to do. Hashtag get Dale back to Canada.
Yeah, me too.
Gotta
Yeah,
throw
man.
it in every live. That one was for him. No, it's become a cool thing, and I definitely think that the like I know it always sounds like I preach and talk like I hate the industry, but I just see a lot of things that I know could change in the industry, and I see them slowly happening, and it's really making me happy because there's a lot of movement happening in our underground community where we got wicked promoters, right? Like you got people like Dan who's constantly helping bands. He'll send out um likes to bands' pages until he gets like blocked for a week. You know what I mean? Like he's that dedicated to helping bands, and we need people more like that, more people like Dan, because like he what he does with a heavy metal way of life is just it's incredible how much support there is from a small team for such a large community. And I don't know, it's nice to see that that came and is still going hard and progressing through such a hard time for bands because it is a very crucial time for us to figure out what we're going to do. And it's scary for a lot of bands. Some bands don't even know what to do anymore. You know what I mean? Like they can't jam, which is what they love. And they can't really make money off of performing. So I know a lot of bands that kind of just gave up because they thought it would be quick and easy. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's going to be a month and then we'll be fine. And then a year later, they still haven't performed, and they're on to new ventures. They're not even thinking about when we're gonna get back together to write. So
Yeah, it's fucked up times, man. Like for sure. Like I'm not gonna lie about it. I mean, for like the past year, like for sure there was a time where I was wondering where's that gonna go? Is the band gonna get anywhere? Are we gonna ever do shows again? Are we, like it was all so many questions, so little answers, eh? So it's
mm-hmm.
you don't know what to think, you don't know what to expect. Yeah, man, and like Eric, so far, like he hooked up with us, and we're like, wow, man, he's helping us out with everything, all the whole communication, internet, marketing, whatever, name it. Like he's helping us out really, really, really like all the stuff that we don't, the hard stuff that we don't usually do, like all the posting and like he man he's kicking our ass, man.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
to yeah, man, we have to man up and show him that he's not doing that for nothing, man. 'Cause
Yeah. No, Eric
it's giving
is.
us a big push right now.
Yeah, Eric and Gabe are absolute fucking beasts when it comes to promotion and hard work, man. Like, I don't know where they get their work ethic from, but damn, I think a lot of more people need that because it's not easy. This isn't an industry for people who think that, oh yeah, it's just party and glam. Like that's how I thought it was starting. You know what I mean? And the older I got, the more
Not anymore, man.
yeah, like it's not.
If it ever was like that, but not like that anymore.
Yeah, and I mean like maybe it was back in the day. Like maybe that was just the image that was put out, and maybe it wasn't, and maybe they had to deal with the same things. But like today, it's not cutthroat, but it's whoever can make the better brand and make a strong following, and how to keep that following, because it is really hard to keep people's attention, and keep them engaged when there's so much going on. And I think that bands have had to adapt to that. And when you have people like Eric and Gabe who help you and get that done so easily, it definitely helps you out. So I definitely find that
Yeah, man, and like
yeah, I find that it's
pretty
definitely like
stoked
it's
that
a beautiful thing.
they're trusting. Oh yeah, man, for sure. Like it's quite a surprise too. Like to have these guys pop up and like, hey man, like we like your band and stuff, and we want to help you guys move forward. It's really cool. I really like it's how can I say this? Like it's I don't know how to describe it, but it's kind of like it's nice to see people like believing in your product,
Yeah.
and wanting to spend that time and best time, and like it's awesome, man. It's an awesome feeling for sure.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I absolutely love support. Like there's a lot of people who help support what we do, and I wish I could do more for them. Almost, you know what I mean? Like I feel like one day I will be able to, but at the moment I'm just like so thankful for the help that everybody helps me. Because I mean, Norman, Dale, Mimi, Rylan, they all help me on their own time. Right? We're building it all together, so it's kind of it's nice to see. It's nice to see people who are willing to work together and believe in something that you believe in and back it wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I genuinely
Yeah, man.
appreciate it.
Awesome.
And I think that like nowadays it's also a totally different story with like finding good emerging bands is a lot harder because there's so many bands out there. So when you do get noticed, it means that you did something right. That's how I feel, at least.
For sure, man. Like, if someone gets hooked to it, then that's well for me, anyways. That's all I pretty much need.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome knowing that someone likes it and enjoys it. So hey, I do it because I enjoy doing it. So if someone enjoys what I'm doing for my own enjoyment to start out with, then wow, man,
Yeah. No, for sure. And I know that as an emerging band too, like any band that's under like 10,000 fans on Facebook, I guess to say, is still in my mind an emerging band. So for our tier of bands, it's a little harder to get exposure. And if you do get it, it seems like it's well earned, you know what I mean? Like we deserved it. We worked our ass off, especially now. Like if you're getting signed right now, you you did something really fucking good over the past year. Because that, you know what I mean? Like, haven't been performing. We've only been writing and doing
Yeah,
what we
man.
can online. So if you've proven to yourself to labels that like you can do that without even performing, like that's power. That's powerhouse. Like that's skill that I don't think anybody had before COVID. Because we didn't think of that. We just hired people to do that.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Like the independence has made us a lot stronger as in our confidence levels as musicians. You know, we know what we're worth almost, but now it's just how do we get our worth? How do we get the world to appreciate us the way that they should, I guess? Because I find that music kind of like, I feel like the appreciation for bands, live bands, kind of died for a while. Because DJs were so prevalent, you know what I mean? Like raves were more appealing than going to a concert.
I don't know if it's because of it. Is it if it's simpler maybe for the booker or some shit or venue?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just
I could see that.
throwing it out.
I think it also it comes
I don't know.
back to like popularity. You know, like a lot of
Oh,
electronic music is very, um, I guess it's predominant in music nowadays, like it's culture, I mean, pop culture, and you even have it in metal. You know, so it kind of took over real quickly, which kind of hit hard and it took over. And I think everybody's eyes were so adjusted to being seen on that that they forgot what was actually happening in the band world for a while. Because I know there's a lot of bands that came out in the past 10 years that I feel like I've never heard, but they're at top tier levels. You know what I mean? But because I was so focused on other genres. So I find that a little, I guess that's what I guess it would come down to. It's just that electronic music kind of, it took over so quickly that the metal industry kind of, I know rock didn't, but metal did for sure. It took kind of a back burner for a while.
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's because it draws more people in, or it's just easier to have that crowd. I guess because it's not just screaming and noise. Well, noise. I'm gonna say noise, but if you take dubstep for a sec, man, that's pretty much what it is. You think about it.
Yeah.
But still good though. Like there's good stuff out there, man. I'm not saying
Yeah.
the contrary on that. But I don't know. Maybe it's more appealing, I guess. Like I don't know. Like for me, let's say when I started getting into like Slipknot, I didn't even like Slipknot. Like I was like, what the fuck is this? And then it just grows on you. I don't know if let's say some electronic music, I guess, don't have that impact. Maybe it's just like, oh shit, okay, beat, it's a beat. You hook on to the beat right away. Easier
No,
to
for
hook
sure.
on to, I guess. I don't know, man. I'm just maybe that's just what I think.
Yeah, I think it's just the evolution of music. It kind of has its waves. You know, like even in the 90s, there was like Tiesto was huge in his own scene, creating house. So,
Yeah.
like, it comes in its waves. And I think our wave is like just as COVID ends. You know what I mean? Like, that's where it's going to go back to live rock, live metal. And yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. That's what I see out to the universe. If there was anything in the music industry that you guys think you would change, what do you think it would be?
Fuck. Carl, man, you go first.
um, it's a good question. Uh, I think smaller bands should get more chances to play big gigs to get, you know, to get known more. Um, we tried so hard in the past years to do bigger shows, and like you said before, if you don't have likes on your pages, bookers don't book you. So, does it mean you're not good. So I think that should change. Bookers should give you a chance to play bigger shows to show what you have, show what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Smaller bands are good too, I'd rather go to a show with all unknown bands than a big show where the bands I can see on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
No, that's very
That's what I
true.
would change.
That is a good point, and I don't think that's one that's been brought up before. I don't think so. Hey, Norm.
No, I don't think so either. No.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because I always.
I'm also I'm also of the opinion that radio there should be a few radio stations in Canada, the United States, that stop playing things that are like, I mean, even recorded in the last 5 years. Like, just take everything from the last 5 years and stop playing it, and then just let new up and coming bands and bands that have new material shine a little bit more.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that would be good. That would be
I
crazy.
think I don't know, I like what Carl said, and you have a good point too. Like, I mean, let's say that there's like fucking 10 radio stations with the same music. Like you switch from one to the other. The only thing that changes is like the people talking between the songs. So I think it would be cool for radio stations like not to just have that mainstream pop stuff. Like here we have like a classic rock station, which I enjoy because it's not all fucking same shit that you hear on every 10 other radio stations. So it would be cool because not everybody has access as well to like the internet radio and all that stuff. So
Some people,
basically,
yeah.
you turn on the radio and it's the same shit over and over, and there's no variety as much. So I think there should be more like accessible stations onto your radio, with different types of music. That would be a good start.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for classic rock as well, but those radio stations get just as redundant as pop radio stations. Like,
Oh yeah,
you're going to hear Running with the Devil. You're going to hear Back in Black during the day. Something from Tragically Hip and shit like that. And like, man, I love all those bands and I love all that music, but
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Yeah. It definitely.
Like I agree though. Like it's true though. It's like that station. There's one of it, but it's the same stuff. Like, and it comes to the same point. Like I totally feel on that one. It's true. And that's why there should be like not just fucking old classic rock stations. There should be, I don't know, people who like the disco stuff more, and people who like the early '90s rap, and like the variety like that. Not just pop or the old stuff or the alternative that we all hear everywhere all the time.
Yeah. It would be cool. So I know that CBC does that sometimes. I can't remember what the actual radio show was called, but they do play like underground artists from Canada. Because I used to listen to CBC radio when I built houses, and it was fun. Like I would get so amped on like hearing a band from BC. You're just like, fuck yeah, that's where I'm from. Like, sweet. So
Cool.
there's a lot of really talented music in even just Canada. And I think that bugs me that it's so hard for us to get exposure because it's so far. Like Eastern Canada, there's big cities, but you move more west and you have like a handful of places you can really sit and play at. And it takes I think it takes 16 hours to get from here to Calgary. Like in the States, if you're driving 16 hours, you can go through like 2 states, maybe? I don't know, I'm not sure, but I know you can get through a lot of areas there, just in a small amount, a lot of towns and cities and stuff, so it's a lot harder for Canadian artists, I think, than a lot of bands around the world. Like, you mean, the UK, they got big cities. Europe has big cities. America has big cities. Canada has very few. And the ones we do have, they're like capitals of each separate province. So it's like...
Yeah, they're all far apart.
Yeah.
So it's not,
And I think we were talking with Eric once
Like
about
in
that,
Europe,
like that it's almost not even like it doesn't seem feasible to like perform in Canada right away, even though it's our home. Maybe it wasn't. I can't remember who I was talking to about it, but it was like you kind of just gotta travel as a band at this point because Canada's way too hard. I've seen so many bands try and do the cross Canada tour and then never tour again.
They lost all their money.
man.
Yeah, basically,
You know, it must be.
it's really tough.
It mustn't be that. Yeah, it must be really hard. Like also if your venues are really spread apart and those. Well, like you were saying earlier, like let's say you compare to Europe where everything's all close together, or it's like really easy to get from one place to another. As from here, we go from one big town to another, but it's a fucking 8 hour plus drive to get there. As in the other place, it's like a 2 hour drive, and you're already in the next big city.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, it makes
but
it hard.
you know, like I still want to experience it though. Like I'd still be curious to go across Canada for sure.
Okay, no, that's on my
I
bucket
mean,
list.
I don't. I am, and like I haven't been in many places in Canada, but just here in Quebec, like mind blowing, like places I can't even imagine the rest of Canada how amazing this will be. So
Right?
I'm for sure I'm looking forward to something.
Yeah, my goal is like I've always wanted to. The only reason I want to see Canada, or the only way I want to see Canada, is through touring. Like I don't want to like travel to Eastern Canada just for a little visit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like if I'm going with music. So that's always been my thing. So I've made it to Saskatchewan, and that was real fun. Like I did not expect how flat it was. It's literally when they say you can see a dog run for 3 days, it's not a joke. It is so flat. It scared me because I'm from a place like the Okanagan is surrounded by mountains. Like it's all just little valleys, and that's where the towns are, right? So we hit Alberta and Saskatchewan, and all of a sudden I started having like, panic attacks because it was too open. I felt like I was in the ocean. I'm like, I need my mountains. So it scared me. Like, it genuinely scared me. And then there was like a tornado warning while I was there. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? We're in Canada. Like, do we have tornadoes in Canada? And I'm like, Jesus. Like, I didn't know this shit. So, yeah, it's beautiful. There's a lot of cool things just in our country that we won't see because it's so big. You know, like, there's so much stuff. So. No, it's definitely. I would love to come that side and perform, but I think I would fly that way and drive
yeah, man.
back.
But, hey, man, you know, one way or another, I think it's good. But over here, it's pretty fun, man. I highly suggest it.
I can imagine like you
Fly
just
your
go.
gear.
I mean, like the thing too is like you'd have to go. When you go to major cities, you got to spend like at least 2-3 days there to make it worth it. So book a couple shows while you're in the area in Canada. I think that's smart to do too when you're on tour, because when you're spending that much time driving and that much money on gas to go for one show, it didn't really make sense.
Yeah, you have to make it worth it, man. So
Yeah, and that's
might as
where I
well.
screwed up before. I was like, oh, I want to hit Calgary one for one night and go up to Edmonton. I'm like, man, that was the longest fucking drive for 2 shows.
Yeah, you spend more time, you know, on the road than playing. So.
When you start to tour, you really start to realize, do I want to do this for a career or not?
Yeah, that's what that's what many artists say. That's when you see it. You know, you're kind of built for it or not. Or,
Yeah.
Depends too if you're into it. Like I mean, like I'm not a big camper, but I like it. You know, like I don't mind sleeping like on a couch. I don't mind sleeping on the floor or whatever. Like, but that's just me. So.
Unless you're like Metallica, it's a transient lifestyle. Like sleeping on couches and floors in the vehicle. If you can afford a hotel, you get one just to have a shower.
Oh man, yeah, that or find like some sort of endorsement for like baby wipes or some shit.
Legit.
Fucking,
I can't remember
fucking
which
baby white
band.
down.
There was a band that said that. It was like tips for touring. And I was watching it one time, and I
I
was
think
like,
I've seen that too,
and
eh?
he literally says that.
Yeah.
He's like,
Rings a bell.
you're gonna laugh, but baby wipes. And I was like, all right. This is fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
it-
it rings a bell. I think we watched the same video.
I think it's a Canadian band, to be honest. I think it is. I feel like
I don't
it is.
remember, man, but it's.
Is there anything you guys want?
It's not a bad idea, you know.
No, it is actually really smart. Like there's, and I also think like packing food, grocery shopping when you're on tour is the
Oh, yeah.
smartest thing to do. Like, or else you're just buying gas
For
station
sure, man.
food, and that's so bad for you. So terrible.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you just bring like 2-3 pots and pans and a little burner there, and you can make up pretty much a lot of shit. Like if you have like nice road stock stuff, you know.
Yeah, no, 100%. Is there anything you guys want to say before we wrap up?
It's nice talking to you guys.
Yeah.
It's good having you guys on.
Thanks for inviting us.
Oh, anytime.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And we need to play a show together too.
Yes, we will.
As soon as we can.
As soon as Dale gets
Fuck
back
yeah.
to Canada, that's when we can start performing again. Until then,
Oh, yeah,
it's
man.
hashtag get Dale back to Canada.
Yeah, you know, we've hooked up with Eric on the Terror Crew Productions, helping us out. You know, we have interesting things coming up. You know, we got pillars to promote still. You know, listen to that shit, crank it, share it,
Definitely do it. It's a good album.
make your mom listen to
Fuck
it.
yeah.
Yeah, and Grandma. Grandma will probably be more receptive to it
Grandma.
than Moms.
Hey man,
Grandma's
if she
pass no
loses her teeth,
judgment.
No, just
You know,
Moms
like-
always hate their
you know,
kids'
like that.
music, and Grandmas are always like, you know what? I'll give it a chance. At least my grandma's dope as fuck, so she does.
I don't understand it, but I like it.
You made it. It's good, Johnny. No, for sure.
This shit slaps.
Could you imagine? She's just like, man, you could fucking your fucking guttural growls could be way harder, and you're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
yeah,
shows
what?
up.
What?
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming on, and we'll definitely have you back on when you drop some more music or anytime you want to come back on.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Thanks for the invite. Thanks for having us on.
Thanks, guys.
No worry, guys. You stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Much love. Peace out.
Peace.
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 And we are no longer
Wicked. That was
streaming.
awesome, guys.